Sherry. I am back in my craft room, such as it is, for Flosstube number 45. It is March 6th, 2025, and here we go. First, I want to say welcome. Welcome to all my subscribers. Welcome to those of you who are just kind of tuning in but haven't subscribed yet. I hope you'll see something here you like and maybe you'll hit that subscribe button. This is my channel, my tiny little corner of the internet, Hecate's Needle. And what are you doing? The hell? Okay. We are joined here in my craft room by the entire crew. I have the lovely Artemis over here in the floor. She actually found a clear spot. Bravo. I have the adorable Hecate asleep in my chair. So yes, we are once again relegated to the ass-breaking stepladder. Snickers is over here asleep on a box in a sun puddle. And Jellybean is over here picking a fight with Snickers by biting him in the butt. Jellybean. Okay. He stopped to think about what he's done. And probably decide to do it again because Jellybean. He can't decide. He's over here just looking to see what kind of trouble he can get into. Because Jellybean. Anyway, today we have some cross stitch. I have actually made some progress on some of my projects. Basically, when my body says, you need to remember that you're old and sit down and take a break, then usually what I do is sit down and cross stitch a little bit. And I try to do some, at least a little bit in the evening, to de-stress and decompress before bed and wait for the Tylenol to kick in because everything hurts. Things I didn't know I had hurt because moving is for the young and that's not me. And unfortunately, we have heavy furniture. I have managed to finally get my daughter's room in order, but let me tell you something. She has a wooden bed, and it is a queen size bed, and it's one of those with the drawers that go underneath, and that thing is heavy. Oh, moving that by myself was loads of fun. But in any case, it's all done now. Yay! Jellybean, what are you doing? Besides pissing off Hecate. There may be a fight before we're done today. Oh, no, he's decided to go love on his hand. So Artemis will be in a panic soon. But anyway, we have cross stitch. We have just a little bit of sewing talk. I haven't sewn anything because my craft room. Yes. And no gardening because I have to concentrate on the inside of the house before I can get to the outside. And then we have just moving updates, I guess, life, whatever you want to call it, you know. But anyway, so here we go. Cross stitch. Cross stitch. Well, I have managed to work on 4 projects so far. And I've been doing the spin the wheel thing. Like I said I was going to, now that I found all of my projects and unburied them. The first project we've got is being housed in my little Hecate bag made by me. And it is the 4 Elements by Satsuma Street. That is what it will look like when it's all done. Now, originally, this one was a stitch along, but I did not do it as a stitch along because it was released in 4 parts, and the parts were huge, and I couldn't keep up with them. But I have made progress. I am I managed to put in 280 stitches, and that puts me at 32% done. So that's a third. That's not, or close to a third. That's not bad. But this is what I've gotten done. Now, I've completely finished the water element. And the stitches I put in this time were all of this green color. And this is the beginnings of the earth element. But I managed to get all of these green stitches put in one afternoon, so that's a start. This is being stitched on just plain 14 count black Aida with DMC floss. I'm using the cold for colors. I really like stitching it. I just haven't had a whole lot of time because moving. And before that it was Christmas presents because I do that to myself. Don't even think about it. Things may come crashing down any minute now. Jellybean is currently thinking about jumping up on top of that pile right there. So there may be a crash soon. But anyway, I enjoy working on this, but I could only work on it during the day because I'm old. And black Aida. Yes. So I really can't work on it a lot at night because it's hard to see and I end up with a headache. I mean, with Jellybean in the house, I end up with a headache most days anyway, but that's beside the point. And he's adorable, so. But that's the 4 elements. If I put this on top of that pile, is it going to come crashing down around me? Probably. It's all right. I have to put it all away anyway. The next one I worked on was my study of skulls. Now this was a stitch along done by the Stitch Crypt. Now this was done last year, and I was keeping up with it until I started stitching for Christmas, and then everything else got put away, and so I got way behind, and the stitch along is done, but I'm not. But that's okay. I will finish it. Now, I've started this piece here. All of the rest of this was done, but I have started this piece. Now, I only managed to put in just these stitches here because my Tylenol PM had kicked in and I went to bed. But this one is currently at 64%, and I am going to stitch on this until I finish this piece. Now, this is being stitched on a 16 count Aida that I dyed myself. Sorry, itch. As I said, I'm working on this piece. I'm using all DMC floss. These pieces are actually pretty easy to do. They're in very manageable chunks. And this, I can normally do one piece if I work on it, and it'll only take me a day. But obviously with unpacking and putting away and everything, then I'm limited in when I can work on it. And so this may take me a few days, but it will be done because I'm going to work on it until it is, and then I'm going to move on to the next project. So that is the study of skulls. And I don't know if I said, but it is currently at 64%, so I don't have that much left on it, which is nice. I would like to get some more finishes. Now the next one I worked on, and the study of skulls is being housed in the veggies made by me. Jelly Bean, where did you go? I can hear you. Really? Really? Hi, Snickers. Where's your brother? I can hear him scuffling around, but I can't see him. So things may come crashing down. The possibility exists. It's a jelly bean, and he's a force of nature. But anyway, the next one is being housed in this Hecate bag, which is a bag by Little Boat 88. It was a gift to me from Laura from I Stitch Birds. And this is my Luca S cherries. I have really been enjoying this one. I really like it. I am using all kit materials, so it is a 14 count Aida with whatever floss they provide. I managed to put in 446 stitches this time, and that puts me at 45% complete. I have done the cherries. Yay! So all that's left to do are the stems, the leaves, and then just the shading around it. So I really, really like how this is turning out. I do, and I enjoy stitching it. I will say the needle is giving me fits because the eye of it is super thin. It's not a wider-eyed needle, and trying to thread it with my aging eyes is a challenge. But I'm managing, and I think when I decide to do the other one of the set, the cherry ice cream, I think I'll change it to a different needle. Because yeah. But anyway, as I said, that one is currently at 45%, so almost half done. So that's cool. Which it's a smaller project, obviously. So I should be able to finish that fairly quickly, no problem. And then the last one I stitched on is one, oh, that was loud, that's being housed in this bag made by me. And it is Owl Forest Embroideries Treasure Island, which was the free stitch along for last year. Now, I did not do this as a stitch along. I joined in the middle of the year, so I knew there was no way I was going to keep up with it. But my husband and I love Treasure Island, the novel, and so I wanted to do the stitching. Let me fold this and make it more manageable. Here, you know what? Now, I'll use this clipboard here. Now this one, I managed to put in 545 stitches. There we go. Basically, okay, really? We have an issues. Okay. I managed to complete this section here with the ship, and I have begun the border around the second guy, the second character, which is Captain Silver. He's got a little peg leg and everything. But I've almost finished the border there, but I have completed this ship. And this was a big boy. It took a few sessions, but it is complete. As I said, this is currently at 25% complete, so we're a quarter of the way done, which isn't bad. Not bad, I'll take it. But there it is. I absolutely love how it's turning out. I truly do. This is being stitched on a 16 count Aida that I tea-dyed myself. With the window open over here, it's hard to show the coloring, but it gives it the aged yellow appearance. But I do enjoy working on this. Cat hair in my eye. I do enjoy working on this. I wish I could work on it more, but chaos reigns. It is what it is. But I'm getting there. We getting it. I saved the nightmare room for last. This room. But those are the 4 projects I've worked on. As I said, I've been spinning the wheel, and when I spin the wheel, each project has a goal for that month, like the study of skulls. Finish 1 section. So once I spun the wheel and it landed on a study of skulls, then I will stitch that until I finish that section, and then I'll spin the wheel again. And that's what I've been doing with these. So most of them just have a stitch count. Like this, the Treasure Island, I needed to put in 500 stitches this month. Well, I went over that. I put in 545. So that one's good. The study of skulls, I need to finish 1 complete piece. Well, I'm working on it. I started it yesterday. So what I do is when I spin the wheel and it lands on a project like Treasure Island, I will stitch it until I've hit that goal, or I may go a little over like I did this month to try and make up for lost time because of the months when I couldn't stitch because I was either working on Christmas gifts or moving halfway across the country. So, but those are the projects that I have worked on. And considering I'm moving and unpacking and everything as well, I think I've made pretty good progress on them. So I'll take it. Any progress is good progress, right? Now, this year, I am doing a low buy year, meaning I may buy something if it really strikes my fancy, but I'm not actively out there searching. That being said, I do actually have some haul. Not much. Everything Cross Stitch had a sale on their cat projects. Now, usually when I get these emails saying, oh, these are on sale, I'll go through and just put things on my wish list for my husband, for when he wants to buy gifts or whatever. He can just go out there and pull up my wish list and just pick things. I don't actually, when I get those emails, go specifically shopping. I usually just take the opportunity to put things on my wish list. That being said, this time I found something that I had to get, and it's not for me. Last year, I did a gift for my husband for Christmas, and it was the little sushi cat, and he is actually currently hanging in my kitchen. But when Everything Cross Stitch had their sale on cat projects, I found this one. I don't know if this is a whole series or if it was just the 2 of them, but I figured he had the one from last year, so this is going to be this year's. So I went ahead and got it, and I will probably start it soon so that it will be finished by Christmas, because I don't want to drive myself crazy at Christmas time like I did last year. So I want to start on my Christmas stitching earlier this year. But I had to get this because it's the second one to the one he got last year for Christmas. So I bought this. And since I was ordering one thing, I might as well make the shipping costs worth it. So I went ahead and got 2 more projects, or 2 more patterns, not kits. And neither of them are large. They're both fairly small and doable. The first one is by Imaginating, and it's Feline Frolic. As always, my little Hecate. I just thought it was so cute. And then the second one I got is from the Stitcher Hood, and it is cattails. And I really like this one. And I like that it's, pretty much one color. Oh, no, it's not. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Yeah, it's just black. And I like that. So I got both of those. And then I got the kit that I want to do for my husband for Christmas this year. Because he absolutely loved the one last year. Like I said, it's already hanging in our kitchen. He hung it himself. So, because my husband, he loves him some sushi. But anyway, that's my haul. As I said, this year I'm not actively shopping for anything. I did manage to go to Joann's because, as everyone has heard, all of Joann's are closing. I ended up getting nothing. Honestly, there were no sales. No, I take that back. I got some Mickey Mouse buttons. I figured I could use them on something for my daughter. But the sales are not that great right now. And honestly, I don't know if everybody went into a panic buying kind of situation as soon as they heard that Joann's was closing, but the Joann's here was already picked over and trashed. I mean, trashed. There was stuff in the floors. My husband and I walked in there and I took one look and I said, okay, not promising. But we looked around and I'm just like, okay, fabric 20% off. I used to get better than that with the coupons. Oh, and by the way, coupons are not being honored anymore, and neither are gift cards. So if you had a Joann's gift card, you're out of luck. My husband's military discount was not honored. They're liquidating, they're getting rid of everything, and all sales are final. But honestly, I didn't see any deals. The only thing I will say is if anyone was interested in Woobles, the crochet kits, you can get those at 25% off, but that's about it. There was really nothing else. So, like I said, I got some Mickey Mouse buttons that I figured I can use on a shirt for my daughter, and that was it. There were no bargains to be found. But otherwise, I've not bought anything else. I mean, obviously, I've been moving, so I haven't been shopping. Now that we're getting settled in, I mean, more or less we're settled in. I probably still won't buy much unless I need a floss or something or a fabric for a project. But most of the projects I plan to start the first part of this year, I've already kitted up. They're already kitted up and ready to go. And I mean, if you're interested in seeing a parade of those, I can do it. But otherwise, that's it. I'm not buying much. Like I said, if there's something that just really reaches out and screams that, hey, you need me, I'll get it. But I'm not actively searching or shopping. But anyway, that was my haul. Plans. As I said, I'm spinning the wheel. And what I want to do going forward is, now I've already had one finished this year. I finished the beautiful Biome Stitch Along from Pixel Pixie. Before I start a project, I want 2 more finishes. And I do have projects that are getting closer. The cherries, I'm almost halfway done with that. The Maine Coon cat from Riolis, I am over 60% done with that. What's it? I don't know. Oh, the Study of Skulls. It is over 60% done. I want, I guess, to whip down, to pare down my projects, because having so many projects is stressful to me. So once I finish 2 more, then I'll start a new one. And as I said, I have new projects for this year kitted up already. Now, that being said, if I get the whim to start like another smaller project, like the cherry ice cream from Luca S, it's just a small little thing, and I've got others too. then I'll start them because they're small projects. They don't take long. And the cherries, honestly, I probably could have done in like 3 days tops if I had had the time to stitch them like I normally do. But I'm not starting a bunch of projects. I'm not interested in starting, however many projects for my birthday. Y'all, my birthday is up there, okay? I'm not starting that many damn projects. You'd have to put me in a straitjacket somewhere. But that's all I've got. That's cross stitch. On to sewing. As I said, I went to Joann's. I saw nothing. As you can see, I've been sorting out I've been putting away my fabric. I've been working on my craft room. Now I had to take a day off because I broke my back moving my daughter's bed. So, that was a lot of Tylenol and some resting. But it is what it is when you're this age. And I refuse to accept that I'm that age, and I just keep acting like I'm 20. And then I pay for it for 3 days later. It's a thing. I haven't sewn anything. I have to find my thread before I can sew. I also am never allowed to touch my chair again. Because Hecate has claimed it as her own because of the wonderful sun puddles that come in Mama's sewing room. I'm sorry, Hecate's sewing room. Because she's claimed the room too. The bad thing is when I go to bed at night, she also lays on my pillow. So, cats. It's Hecate's world, and I'm allowed to exist in it with her. Basically is what it is. Now, that being said, I did get my Sewers Club subscription box in the mail. And it's cool. I like it. The pattern this month is for a little pouch, little zip-up pouch. And you get everything required for it. So I got the fabric, which I love this fabric. There's the other fabric. This is for the lining inside and the binding around the edge. You have the zipper with the double pull. You even have the foam and the thread. So I have everything I need to sew it. I just need to sort out the sewing room. I love this pouch. I think it's pretty. I like the colors. I like the theme. So I did get that. I've put it on my spin the wheel. Hi, Snickers. With the boxes, this is a cat's jungle gym. It's a thing. As you can see, like I said, I've been sorting out my fabric. This side is all 100% cotton. It's like quilting fabric. This side is regular apparel fabric, like flannel and t-shirt knits and things like that. I have one more box of fabric to unpack and put on there, and then here behind me I have a pile of fabric that has not been measured, or as the case may be, Snickers has chewed the tape off that had the measurement on it because he was helping. So I have to wait until I unbury my sewing table over there so that I can measure it back out and label it. But it is what it is. Good help is hard to find. But that was the bulk of the boxes. Fabric. I've never realized how much fabric I have. So again, this year is going to be a sew your stash year. Now, a lot of it those are the bigger pieces. I do have a lot of smaller, like half yard and smaller pieces that I use for doll making, sewing doll clothes and dolls and things. So those will not go on there. Those are on the bottom shelves and they're just folded up. And I'll just pull the colors I want. And those are also the fabrics that I use to make my project bags. And I will be making more of those. Because you can never have too many, right? Now, some of them I will probably put away for giveaways or whatever, but we'll see. But I do want to use up a lot of that because some of that is old. I've had it for a while and just didn't realize I had it because it was buried. Now it's right up front where I can see it and it's organized, so I can start using it up. So again, it's going to be a low buy, not a no buy, a low buy. I did order some fabric the other day, but it's for specific purposes. I already know what I'm going to make with it, so it's not going on the shelf. That's my goal. If I order fabric, it's not to go on the shelf. It's to be used immediately. So that's a thing. As you can see up there, I found some of my sewing projects that I've already got cut out, and they're in my little plastic folders. So I'm ready to start sewing. I just have to find everything. I haven't found any of my seam rippers or threads or any of that yet. I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress, but we're getting there. That already looks better. But anyway, that's it for sewing. There's no gardening. Like I said, I've been working on the inside of the house, not so much the outside. I things are leafing out now, and I have discovered in the garden we have more fruit trees and things than we originally thought. We do have a kumquat. We have 2 mandarin trees. We have 4 blueberry bushes that are taller than me. We have a loquat, and we have a fig. So we actually have quite a few fruit-bearing bushes and trees out there. And of course, I will plant more because it's what I do. I've already kind of mapped out the main things in the backyard, like where our vegetable garden is going to go, where my herb garden is going to go. My husband wants to start raising bees again, so I want to plant a bee garden for him. So I've already started designing on paper, obviously. My husband has got the tiller out and he's made sure it's working, and this weekend he's probably going to till up the garden space so we can get our vegetables in the ground. Because in Texas, we were in Galveston County, which meant we got a lot of fresh produce coming from Mexico. Now, the produce was amazing. Not at Kroger, but at the stores where we shop, the produce was awesome. Here in Alabama, we're finding the produce to be not as awesome, I guess. A lot. It's not the quality we're accustomed to, and it's not the variety we're accustomed to. That's like we were trying to find habanero peppers. We didn't find any. 4 different stores, and we didn't find any habanero peppers. So we're going to have to grow them, which is fine. And then, of course, we've got the chickens for eggs. So I'm sorry. I'm not paying $6 a dozen for eggs. I just go out, walk out in the backyard and get them. And I can have as many as I want. I don't have to worry about 1 dozen of customer minimum or maximum. So, but it is what it is. We're working on it. This weekend, like I said, we hope to get at least some of our vegetable garden in the ground. Now, life. The unpacking has progressed significantly. I have completely finished the kitchen. I have completely finished our bedroom. I have completely finished my daughter's room, and I've completely finished the laundry room and both bathrooms. The living room is almost done. Basically, what's left is hanging things, and a lot of the things are too big for me to hang by myself. So I have to wait for my husband to help me this weekend and get those hung. And then, because we don't have a lot of living room furniture. Most of our living room furniture are bookshelves to hold all of our books. Plus, we have a bookshelf in here for my craft books. We have a bookshelf in our bedroom. We have a bookshelf in my daughter's room. We like books, okay? But, so the living room wasn't hard. But all that's really left, the main thing, is this room here. And by the end of next week, my goal is to have this room more or less finished. Because that's all I have left inside the house to work on that I can do by myself. Okay. Like I said, the things to hang in the living room are bigger and I can't do them alone. So my husband has to help me this weekend, and we'll probably get that done this weekend. So otherwise, it's this room, which is all me. All me. Oh my God. But anyway, so that's where it stands now. I'm trying to come up with ideas. I really am. Getting all of those boxes of fabric out of here was a big, huge start, though. Like I said, I still have I think 2 boxes actually left of fabric. And then all the fabric will be done, are unpacked and mostly put away. So that's something. But otherwise, life is going. My brother, or my not my brother, my son is still in Houston, but he's trying to figure out whether he wants to go to Germany now. I mean, he's got everything in order. He can apply for his visa and he can go. But with the way things are over there, he's not sure if he wants to now. He's stepping back and taking a good look and weighing his options. So we're not sure. No, he'll either go there or stay in Houston, one or the other, because he already owns his home in Houston. So, but we'll see. We'll see. He'll figure it out. But since he's 33 years old, he can figure it out, not me. But anyway, that's all that's going on here. At least I'm making progress again. I am taking time off to rest and to stitch. Now, as you can see from the dark circles under my eyes, I'm wearing myself out. No, I actually did do something with my back the other day when I was trying to move my daughter's furniture around. So I've been hitting the Tylenol because I'm not young. But I keep insisting that I act like I am. Oh, it's what we do, right? But anyway, that's it for me. It's Thursday afternoon, so as usual, I hope you all have an amazing weekend. I want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed. Thank you to those who haven't, but are just kind of tuning in to see what's going on. I hope you found something you liked and that you will consider hitting the subscribe button. If you did see something you like, please consider liking. Comment. I always love to read the comments and I will always answer you back. Other than that, I hope everyone has an amazing weekend and I will see you in 2 weeks' time.